Hey everyone, it's Trigger here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do train stations and locomotives in Minetorio, or rather how they work. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. So over here, I have a small little setup here. It's obviously not a very long train rail that I have set up, but it's just for demonstration purposes so I don't have to run like 20 chunks away. So all you have to do for trains is you need three things. You need two train stations, a locomotive, which is right here in my hand, and I guess a fourth thing. You need a bunch of rails set up connecting the two together. How do you connect them? Really easily. You just put the rail one next to one, and then you run the rail all the way to the other one. Just like that. That's it. Now these are connected. Well, how can I see if these are actually connected? Well, go ahead and open up one of them, and you'll be greeted by the UI. And you'll see that you got some open rails here. That's pretty much just going to tell you exactly what I'm going to tell you in this video. And then in the device information, you can see that it has a station name option. Let's go to name this. I'm going to name this Pickup. Name Pickup. Perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and name the other one down here Drop Off. And I'm not sure if you caught it, but obviously I just entered it in the chat because it tells you to enter the station name in the chat. And so now it's named Drop Off. Perfect. So let's go ahead and start off at the pickup location. So I'm going to go and open it up. I'm going to grab my locomotive. And now with the locomotive, you can just drag and drop it onto a rail. Every one of these open rails is an open rail for a train station. Imagine it as a parking spot. So I will go and park this train on the parking spot. So now you're going to see there is a train parked here. It's an unnamed locomotive. Let's go and manage it and actually give it a name. So I'm going to edit it. And you can greet it with this new little UI. Let's click the piece of paper, which is how you actually name it. I'm going to name this Choo Choo. If I go back and hover over the train, you'll see now it says Choo Choo instead of unnamed locomotive. This is going to be pretty useful if you have a ton of trains coming into one station, so you can easily identify what that train is. So you can name it like Iron Pickup, or Iron Drop Off, or Iron Train, or something like that. That would make it very useful for you to actually understand what your train is. If you left all as unnamed locomotives, it would be probably difficult to know what's going on, but you could do that. So yeah, let's go ahead and give the locomotive a drop-off station and a pickup station. If you hover over these icons, the compass and this recovery compass, you'll see that they have the corresponding names, drop-off and pickup. But they don't have a station set for either of them. Underneath them are little clock icons. These we want to set to some sort of time. This way, the trains actually know what to do. So let's just say for the pickup time, we can set it to -1 if you want the train to stay there until it becomes full. So let's go ahead and do that. If I click on it, it's going to tell me to enter in the chat. I'm going to go and say -1. Now our current timer is set to -1. Let's do the same. Let's do something different for a drop off. Let's have it drop off items for 3 seconds. So now the drop-off set for 3 seconds, and the pickup time is set for -1. Now let's go ahead and set a pickup station. So if I click on this, it's going to open up a new menu for us to select a train. These are all of the train stations that your station that you're at is connected to. So let's go ahead and make it pickup. So I picked pickup station itself because you could actually make the train go somewhere else to pick up from and then go drop off somewhere else if you wanted to. This could be useful if you have a really large rail network, actually. So anyways, now we have a pickup station. If we look at our time is still -1. Let's go ahead and set our drop-off station. Now, it's worth noting that once I set this drop-off, the train is going to begin its cycle because everything is needed for it to start. So let's go ahead and click Set Station, and we're going to pick our drop-off point, which is drop-off. There we go. So now everything is all set up. The train is now ready to go. But if we hit the return button and we hover over it, it's going to say its pickup station, its drop-off station, and the round-trip fuel that it cost for this train to actually travel. That's kind of important to know because you never want your train to exceed the amount of fuel to go there and back. Now, this obviously doesn't, you can make this a little better if you have a refueling at both places, at the pickup and the drop-off. You can extend the length, but you want to make sure you at least have 50 fuel to get there and back on your round-trip thing. So if it ever goes above 50 and you don't want to refuel at another point, then keep it simple and just make sure that you have all your fuel here and don't use more than 50. You'll see as well that it says departure time, and it says once full. Obviously, if we set this to a timer, like 10 seconds, it would be counting down from 10 to 0, and then it would depart. So let's go ahead and fill her up. So if I go and click on the choo-choo, and I click open inventory, I go and grab some coal here. Let's go and grab a bunch of coal. I'm just going to fill it all up. I'm going to leave one slot basically full. And we're going to go ahead and show how mover would work with this. Oh. Okay, well, the train decided to leave. Oh, right. The trains don't wait until their inventory is completely full. Technically, they'll leave once they have one slot, when they do not have an open slot anymore. So once there is no open slot available, it will then go. So if I go and open this up, I can go and take one of these out. So he won't leave now because he's not full. So you can see that he's actually missing 2 slots. And if we go down over here to this train station and we open it up, you'll see in this main UI, there's some coal here. That's because the train actually dropped off 2 stacks of coal in the brief 3 seconds it was here. If I go ahead and go to the empty items menu real quick and go to logistics and grab a mover. And let's go and grab a chest. And go ahead and start unloading some of these items. You'll also notice, like, wait a minute, there's 2 stacks of coal in it. That was really quick compared to, like, a conveyor belt. A conveyor belts can only move 2 items per second. Yes, trains, instead of moving, like in this case, 2 items per second into a chest, trains can deposit full stacks a second, which is a lot. This allows them to move tremendous amounts of resources from one point to another very quickly. So, if we go ahead and go back down here, and we look at this train, open the inventory, you see it's still not full. So if I go and put one item in here, and let's just say I throw in my wire tool, the train is now going to leave. I can still manipulate the train's inventory, but once I go and close and open it here, you see he's off the rails. If I wait here long enough, you'll see a little clock icon show up here. That means a train is about to arrive. There we go. There's at least 1 train parked here now. That's because trains have to physically travel. It takes time. They don't immediately just instantly appear at their destination. The further the distance, the more they have to travel. But they're still insanely fast. Let's go ahead and see if I could actually outrun the train. I'm going to quickly do this. Okay, so the train's leaving. This is a pretty short distance, keep in mind, though. So, I did manage to beat the train here. By a few seconds. Yeah, wow, that train really departed quickly. I wonder if his drop-off time is still messed up. Let's see. Well, he only has 3 seconds to drop off. Let's wait until... Oh, actually, the text is also a little bugged on here. Let's go ahead and set to like 10 seconds. And now we'll fill his inventory up. There we go. And you can see its departure time here now as well is ticking down. And once it leaves, you'll see it's gone. And if I quickly go down here and I open this up, you'll see the train here, but you can't edit it until it actually arrives. There you are. You can see its fuel gauge is slowly going down from this too. So, how do we refuel the choo-choo train? Well, there's 2 ways. There's one way to do this. First, you're going to need a mover. Moving into it, face is facing it. If I hit F on this, you'll see that it's facing me, and now it's facing the other way. If you didn't know that, you can hit F to flip these at any time to invert their direction. And now if I put down a chest, and I go and throw some coal in this, you're going to see that, wait a minute, the coal is getting added to this. Why is that? That's not what you expected to happen. How do we get the coal inside of the train? Well, what I just showed you is actually how you load a station with items. So let's just say I wanted this to be loading up with, instead of coal, a bunch of chests, because I have a chest factory that moves tons of chests at the pickup location. Because remember, this is the pickup station. So this pickup station is going to load up with a bunch of chests. If I open up the choo-choo train here, manage its inventory, it's going to take some of these extra coal stacks out. You're going to see that at the moment, for some reason... Oh, there we go. So, the choo-choo train will only load up items by stacks. So, when it gets here, it waits until a stack is completely full before it actually takes the item. So, let's go ahead and give this guy a bunch of things, and you'll see it quickly goes away. I open up his inventory. Boom. There's the trains. The trains that's now being loaded with coal. However, We still haven't figured out how to fuel it. So fueling it is slightly different. You don't need a mover for this part per se. You just need a single barrel beneath a locomotive or a train station like this, and then you open it up and throw some coal in. That's it. You can see here that some of the coal is being consumed. 3 pieces of coal were consumed. If I open up the train station, you can see that the fuel gauge is now 96 on the choo-choo. It was at like 20 or 30 or something. Each fuel piece is pretty much worth a set amount of fuel, which will then fuel up your train, and now your train can make another trip. It's really simple. So obviously, something else to keep in mind is that you can, of course, have a mover go into that container. So if I go and put some coal here, you'll see that nothing's going to move because barrels, if you didn't know this, barrels have a little nifty feature to where they only store it's 1/8 of the item stack that the vanilla stack can hold. So in this case, it would be 8 coal plus 1, because it's always a plus 1 no matter what. So if I go in and take that out, you'll see that some coal is going to get moved in here from this mover now. And it'll go all the way up to 9, and then it should stop. Perfect. It does have to be a barrel. Now, there might be cases where you don't want it to be like capped like this, but trust me, in most cases you do want it capped. And it's very easy to get around this. You just simply have a mover next to it that's constantly inputting into it. You can also overdrive a mover if you need it to go in there faster because your trains don't have long enough to stay. So yeah, just to make sure to do that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's really nice. The trains are, like I said, are very good for long-range travel. There's something that's a little more unique about them that I'll show very quickly too. Let's just say you wanted to add another train station to your rail network. It's super easy. Just simply do this. I know it doesn't look like it makes sense, but don't worry about that. It doesn't matter. We're not here to question about whether or not this makes sense or not. So by putting this here, I'll throw some coal in this bad boy, and we're going to give this guy a name. We'll name him Station 3. And if I go ahead and grab, let's grab another locomotive here from the empty items menu. It'll be under logistics, locomotive. Grab another one, put him here. If I go and click on this new train we have, and I go ahead and set the pickup station, you'll see now that we have 3 places. Station 3, drop off, and pickup. That's because we just added another train station to the network. Now, there is some drawbacks compared to Factorio. Now, keep in mind, some people get some pleasure out of making the interesting junctions and whatnot for trains in Factorio. In Minetorio, I opted to go for something that's much more simple. And keep in mind, the target audience is a little more niche in Minecraft. I wanted to keep it simple because I didn't want it to be complicated. So this makes it super easy to get trains added to a network. You don't have to do any shenanigans. You don't have to worry about trains colliding with each other or anything like that. The trains just work virtually. So you don't have to worry about none of that, and it's very, very easy to expand your train network. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this crash course on locomotives and train stations. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope to get out some more short videos on Minetorio. Again, I appreciate you guys watching the videos and whatnot, and with all the support we've gotten. I really appreciate all of it. So anyways, if you guys have any other videos that you would want me to make, please let me know in the comments. You can also contact me, go on the Discord, make a suggestion, talk in the general chat. If you're interested in checking out the plugin and you watch this whole video for some reason without knowing about the plugin, you can find a link to it in the description below. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll let you all go now. Thanks you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.